Alrighty then. How's everybody today? I'm going to have to turn this up a little bit because it was a little lower when it's here, third. So that was a little bit lower than I want. So, Di, do you remember what happened last time? That is not what I pressed. Can I be heard? 1, 2, 3. Should be able to be heard. Hello, Phoenix. Can I be heard? 1, 2, 3. Did the first chapter. Are you guys shouldn't be behind. Okay. I'm gonna say you guys shouldn't be behind because the DVR is turned off on this stream. Which you guys are gonna probably have to remember to turn the DVR off when you're streaming because for one, you probably don't want. You type slow at times. I know. Anyways, yes, we did do the first case. Where was it? Do you remember where it was? It was in the most unusual place, wasn't it? You're right. It was in his office. So, now we're going to take a trip before that incident, which this event takes place before that last one. And we won't revisit that one until after episode 3. Did I say episode 3? Should be episode 4. Anyways, let's continue. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Hello, werewolf. Thinking back every day began on that fateful day. Two days earlier. Yes, everything is, again, high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air, to be precise. Nothing. Thank you for flying E-Fly. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seat belts. That's not blood, that's wine. March 12th, 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes, huh? Slight turbulence, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seat and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though, admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? Head. I want this headache go away. Take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Ugh! From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? Just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. I'm not Robin Phoenix. What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your... He's dead! Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? Yes! You murderer! What? No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12th, 6:41 a.m. Flight I-390, second floor, first class. And now we find ourselves in a situation, Di. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda De Niro. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse and it was a murder. You can see us down here at the bottom. What? A murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no need to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we're out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you, I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I am not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say, however, I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. Yeah, how so? I already see a glitch in the simulator. Can you guys already see this glitch? It's a pretty obvious graphic glitch. It's going right across where Edgeworth is sitting. I swear on my honor, as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. There's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the power vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes. I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. You accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense? Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be very wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill the man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. What Miss Tenero saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. It was wine, not blood. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's our evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Die knows what to do. Tell me, what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you? Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Service like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. What happened to the accuracy on this one? I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. You do now, huh? Can you tell the difference between blood and wine? But I'm sure you have already realized that by now, right? It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one who is suspicious. And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable. I'm not sure if it's that reliable. You certainly seem sure of yourself. Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all. But we know she made a mistake. We have all the proof in the world that she made a mistake. Perhaps, but you must admit that there are few who can look at a murder with a clear mind. The attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. They'll even calmly serve you coffee, if you wish, as the plane makes a splashdown. Ouch! I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency. Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. You're not serving passengers if they die. That is the duty of a professional flight attendant. You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony? Yes? What did you see in front of the elevator? That's what I was just about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and batted in the light coming from within. A murder weapon dripping with blood? Really now? I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. It wasn't blood. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'd be widespread panic by now. There wasn't before? As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Excuse me? You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder? Nonsense! Professional flight attendants can't afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and am now listening to your defense. All with a smile. Apparently you also lie with a smile on your face. I am not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me? Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of a situation you're in right now. And what exactly is my situation? I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal right to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight. Yeah, he made no threats, so the restraint is barely unnecessary. In a sense, you're in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police. So, I am to stay restrained until I can clear up all of her doubts. At least I'm close. Her mistake shines like the silver lining on a dark rain cloud. I'm going to capture some of that light with evidence. I died. You know what statement? Okay, what do you think she saw that was dripping? That would be the traveler's wallet.
Objection!
Miss Tenero. Well, what was with that? With the yelling all of a sudden? Ugh! Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero? You say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood? Is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. You know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenero. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I am the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet? No, but I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. For censoring purposes, they're going to call it a grape juice, but we know it's wine. Then, that's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There. That should clear up that pesky accusation. Wait just a second. That is, I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and the tack on please at the end sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see contents of the wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Mr. Nero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its content for me. Alright, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. It seems this passport is all that is here. As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. When you agree? Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering whose passport it is exactly. Guy, can you take a guess on that one? That answer should be pretty obvious. Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... So... we have Acme Hicks. Just as I thought. This travel wallet belongs to Mr. Acme Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. Wallet data updated in my organizer. You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you? How dare you! You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Okay. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? If he was out to steal money, don't you think he would have it on this person? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me? See, you stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hand. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? You think I stole it? Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage. It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is, why do you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet? I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight. But this is more than enough of a reason. How dare you figure? He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear. You think I was after his money? Where did that cockamamie idea come from? True, you are also a passenger in first class, but that something was off about you and those deeply etched lines on your forehead. They're not lines, they're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face. I don't think I've ever met someone with such terrible conscience on a flight before. And that's when it hit me. You had the face of someone with money trouble. She really is making a fool of herself, pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. You know the statement, Di? Sorry, we don't appreciate that kind of comment here. Okay, that is the last statement. So what do you think contradicts this statement? I wonder if I might get a word in, Mr. Tenero. Miss Tenero. What is it now? Miss Tenero? I wonder if you noticed the contradiction with your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for the murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about the scene? This scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money. I kind of found the murder weapon.
Take that!
If I may direct your attention to the things skewed all over the floor. Ah! That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. But you're rational. These were the very things the killer was after. Ah! I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. and I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there were no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet.
Objection!
Ah, yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks' passport. If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me, please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ah, don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero. Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus the lounge was dark and looking into the light from the elevator. It's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you for releasing me. What is it now? There. Miss De Niro, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Burgundian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he is giving the runabout so he can speak English. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant. Yes, sir. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finishing talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You were the one who snuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. His art wouldn't be allowed on the plane. Can anyone tell me why that would be the case? Anybody want to know why it would be the case, why he would not be allowed to have his craft and art on the plane? Very simple. Wait. They will not allow him to have any form of art or craft on the plane because of weight. The only thing they'll allow you to have is light luggage. Anything that's heavy, they go in the cargo bay. Which makes sense. Which, personally, I kind of don't understand why they have you put pets in a cargo bay, which there's a high risk of them dying because There's no insulation in the cargo bay. That's why, if I go on a flight, I don't take my pets. They stay home, where they can have all the insulation. If it's cold, they can have all the heating they want. If it's hot, they can have all the AC that they want. And I'll make sure they have plenty of food. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I hope that I don't dissolve in water, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in the Barguinia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout. I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I am not worried. I do not have even a second to wait. Time is money, as they say, and I'm not worried. Yes, and yet you continue to blatter on that you're not worried. I saw it, yes I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator, and as you can see, I have no mustache, so I am not Wario. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of the time? At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, it was a little after the patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Time is a little off. X. What's his name, was it? Then I say that man, X, was killed in the span of 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at the time was this prosecutor, yes. Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. What significance do those have? I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? I want to be as big as Wario. Look at my prime steak. It's big enough for the army. You see that, right, Di? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaint? I see. Not a single word against us, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh? So you say. But do you have what you say, the elevator? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you say. Enough to give testimony? Of course. I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time. I think he's talking about a watch. Machine? Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with that click, click, click. Yes, he was talking about a watch. From the description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. Blanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone, laptop or ordinary PC, that's kind of low budget. I ate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sound. Anyways, I know what I saw. Miss Gennaro? Yeah? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think this is how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tenero, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved. Please, Mr. LeBlanc. In an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha, we will see. Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the scene. What? Unbelievable! I am in your desk, Miss Tenero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case. Grrr! I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button. It's time to head to the scene of the crime. First floor lounge. Are you in need of assistance? Miss Tenero, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge. As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around. If you could pass a message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation. Well, however, please realize that you are still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you. Of course, and I take no offense. Do you really understand what I'm saying? Yes, verily. Do you pinky swear you do on your honor as a professional prosecutor? I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor. Well, I guess that settles that. I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. Excuse me, but may I have a word with you? You there! If you need something, please ask Miss Rhoda over there, okay? What the? Hey, wake up, you! I'm terribly sorry that he's being so rude, Miss Edgeworth. No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe he's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'd see to it that her salary was cut so low that it was in the red. That leads to the emergency escape hatch. You can't go there in mid-flight. What's the probability that the criminal escapes through here? 100%. Oh, let me finish my thought. I'm 100% certain they didn't. When I'm searching for an answer, only complete thoughts needed apply. In order to preserve the crime scene, I'm afraid the elevator is not in service. To get to the first floor lounge, we should take the stairs. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight I-390. First floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. De Niro. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you the position. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to the extent. I don't want you to think you're standing with me has changed. See, I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that. You reserve the right to stop your investigation if you feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at the time. But my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Miss LeBlanc's testimony before time's out. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might have had hit on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger we accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for the business and economy class, no one can move between these two classes in first class without a staff card. We found no record of P-card being used at all, which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. First floor lounge. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's test statement. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During the interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it seems that the killer was around somewhere. Where was the killer? What clues point to where the killer could be? If we were to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Are you in need of assistance? Nope. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean this up or someone might get hurt. Aha! Well, what is it, Miss Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the importance of the evidence in the scene? Guy, what do you see? I see a couple of things, but I think they're going to be asking for one thing. We're going to be looking at something else before the broken glass. Well, that's not very significant. There's something else that you should be seeing. That's going to be more of a clue than that broken wine glass and the wine bottle. The wine glass is not broken. The wine bottle is broken. I'm glad you noticed that, but at this point they're not going to notice. They're not going to think twice about it right now. But there is something else that you should see. But we'll get to why these are here later.
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that these are a set of footprints. So you think, yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in the first class. I don't think that would be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which would make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight scoop. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second floor. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Okay. So, we're going to look at this first because this is actually going to be crucial. Because I wonder what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something missing from this picture. Now, if I could just put my finger on it. Okay, this is going to be. We need to look at this. What is this? Sinister looking feature on the floor here. Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company's mascot, Mr. E-Fly. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, and it's so popular that we're down to our last one. Do you have an in-flight shop? Yes, just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Okay, we have this. Money is skewed all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. Okay. something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at this inside. It's a picture. Looks like it was taken inside a building. Photo of Mr. Hicks data jotted down in my organizer. Is this a spot connected to any of the evidence I found? Oh, not it.
Eureka!
Crime scene completely contradicts this piece of evidence. I'm sorry, but where? Let's see the truth. Here's my mind. Die. I'll try to explain it in a simpler fashion for you. Alright. There's something else missing from the scene in front of me. Now show Mr. Pinero what's off. Here's a piece of evidence. Alright, so let's see the piece of this. This is a spot that's connected to any of the evidence I hold. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Pinero. So I guess because it's not here? Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Missing cell phone data jotted down in my organizer. Okay. Okay, you ready for this, Di? True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence, but if the killer was inside the elevator along with the victim, then there's a different story. The elevator with Hicks. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Okay. I am missing one thing to this investigation, so before I go any further, I need to examine that. One thing I forgot. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in the elevator on the flight. So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes. He trembles, although I can't fault her for that. When there's a corpse right there. Okay. If you really are dead, then please answer yes. Wouldn't it be easier to say if He is dead, just don't move. I see she's covered in trembling. She's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyways, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' neck. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even with his glasses are broken. Alright. Now we can do more of the logic. Well, we're going to try something else here. Let's try combining these. So if you read those, you'll see why I'm combining them. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of Oblivious would be more befitting? Mr. Ifly's piggy bank data jotted down in my organizer. Okay, so we got one more that we can combine. Well, if you read what glasses says, the victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during the murder? So, we don't have anything to help with this. So, it says in the elevator with Hicks, if only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Well, we can, which is going to end up being the spilled grape juice. There is some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. So that's how you can assume that there was somebody in the elevator, because you see the footprints walking away from the elevator. You don't have a set of footprints walking to the elevator. Okay? So this assumes that the killer rode the elevator because there's only one set of footprints. I have it. I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, exactly. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footprints here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hickson's house? Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Grape juice footprint data jotted down in my organizer. What's going on over there? Unforgivable. This is unforgettable. Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. Is it the same level of bad as the plane arrived late? But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return. If there is no emergency, please return to your seat. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. What I saw. Oh, wait, you want that in English? I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator. Oh, right, English. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. I keep forgetting it has to be English. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? What I keep forgetting that you guys can't speak my language. Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusion seems to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony? If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry. Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here, not him. Anyways, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast, before he stops speaking English. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at the time? Of course, I saw what I saw inside. And you were sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. Oh, right. English. The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. Was he really alone? Of course. I will bet even 1 cent. Cheap ante for cheap testimony. If that's how you want to play it, I'll be happy to take your 1 cent. I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking. Is that correct? Oh, you noticed. It is a quite expensive antique, I will have you know. Just as a reminder, I am not worried. The feeling is wonderful when I fulfill wind. When I... Whoa, that came out wrong. When I fully wind it up, my hand. I assure you I'm not Mario. It does look very well designed and quite classy. Wait, you fulfill wind? I did not need to know that. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. That's quite alright. Let's continue with testimony. I don't want to touch fulfilled wind. What a cheap man you are. Now, return to the time you wasted back to me. I'm not Wario. And if we must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock. And again, I'm not Wario. Is it true that it's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15, and that's when I found the 2 of them as well. You see, it all matches my testimony. Mr. Wario, I mean LeBlanc. That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. I told you my name is not Wario! No. You silly opinion is what is mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken. Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. I spy a little hole in his words. If you wish, Mr. LeBlanc, I will now show you proof of my innocence. Alright, do we know what statement it is? Remember, this is the new statement that you earned. Mr. Wario, I mean LeBlanc. What have I told you? My name is not Wario. And what is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the one that leads from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks entered the elevator alive. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Are you okay? Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible. I guess that's what he said. And he said something about passing gas. No way! That is impossible! And no, I wasn't passing gas. I know there was no other person in there. I saw it with my very own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just one more. Will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? Can somebody give me some laxative? When I saw part 2. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow the man with my eyes with the passing when he passed me. And I was clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside, no one. Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? How dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. I need some laxative really bad. So, are you still upset now? I am always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprising you believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was given a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time and money. You understand the point. Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and the starting time interest. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Main, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I check my pocket watch whenever possible so I could not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong and it matched the schedule. But the movie was still late, very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch? I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's all right. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine? Yes. I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Main, and Murder. Miss De Niro, was this movie shown on this flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense, you doubt me. No, stop pointing at me like that. How did he miss a movie that he was clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch at a great number of times. That much I know for sure. My watch is set to my destination time. I always set it when I board the plane. Sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc? Yes, of course. I am a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made. Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me. That's alright. All I require is this piece of testimony. Since you only happen to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance. Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing. And how can you be so sure? Just because. I would appreciate it if you didn't take my life so lightly with a simple just because. Well then, I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks, alright? You can already see what's wrong with this testimony, right, Di? Okay. Welcome back.
Hold it!
Is it possible that someone was hiding inside? What? You dare insult me? I have belief in my eyesight. When I look for art to sell, I am told often I have great sight for the art. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense. Although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight? You are persistent, I tell you. I look clearly. This is the lead. Why do you insist that you are absolutely not mistaken? Because when I say I'm not wrong, I am not wrong. Mr. LeBlanc, if I may, I think beyond misconceptions and mistakes lies the truth. Funny that suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago. I honestly don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying. I don't think he's lying either. But I think he might be mistaken about something. Mistaken? Yes, and I'm going to correct his mistake recollection with evidence. And this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional practitioner. This one might be a little complicated, but do you know what statement? No. It's one of the new statements. Matter of fact, it's going to probably be this one. Okay, we're going to go through them. We'll start with this. Okay, that should be all of them. Mr. Warrior, I mean LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. No, if your watch has been set to our destination time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth it 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on the flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Ms. Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at the transfer point. That's right. It was in the same Asian country, the Republic of Zhangfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we are still running on Borginia time. What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. What? Further, with your analog watch set to our destination time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clock. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. I'm not Wario! My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yes, I'm Cammy Mealy. I'm a flight attendant. Her name is gonna sound like chamomile. And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think that your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. And the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, correct? Oh, and the stop we made for the refueling and cargo transfer in Zhangfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clock. And during this time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhangfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on and off. But eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically I can assure that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. The fueling in Zhangfa data jotted down in my organizer. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you, Mr. Acme Hicks was there in his seat when he took off again at 5 a.m. Miss Mealy's testimony jotted down in my organizer. Alright then, let's put the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay. Now Now, what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zingfog. Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then, how do we explain the footprint? It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge. Waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident, including here, in this lounge, everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you believe, Mr. LeBlanc? What? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. There's something that can tie the crime to a location other than the lounge. Huh. This one might... Well, maybe not.
Take that!
These footprints. And which direction do you think they are headed? That could be the in-flight shop. Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop. But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You were right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there's another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? I gotta use something different. I can't use the same thing.
Take that!
This murder weapon, the little piggy bank, is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means that you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit the patch of the turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence. Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is behind that door? That's the flight attendant. Then you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really used to the issue of Sky Magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I barely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about this until now, is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needed to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten, but I have already asked him for permission to search the entire place. So I think we're all right. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see, and he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Nero? It means he's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Miss Nero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. If you will follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Mr. Nero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. March 12th, 8:32 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor, in-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then, tee-hee. Hold on. You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There is a very good chance that the killer had planned this place of visit. In-flight shop. I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever. So, what do you think about what had happened regarding this case? Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer on this record. I can assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite. Yeah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around, you know. So don't forget that, okay? How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep? Well, you know what really shows you thanks? You see that item for sale over there? Sorry, but you're going to have to make do with my words of appreciation. What are these? Oh, those are companies completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying off the floor. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy. No way! But either way, it doesn't really matter. True, either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at all of the Mr. Two-Fly heads painted on there. New company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care, don't you? Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? Isn't it certainly making something jump inside my... It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. Mr. Nero designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contract. Well, it doesn't have a very sharp design. Haha, sharp. Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's just flash. Mr. Nero denied design this, did you? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Ugh! You okay? Oh, I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Mealy. Letting a suitcase really roll around like rolling around has got to be a safety violation. Suitcase. Planes shaking caused it to roll. In-flight cases display can be hazardous. Here, I'll put it back. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases. You know what I suggest? Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this stuff. Okay, then how about you buy something for me then, as a present? I can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on the pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk. This glass from this display case door is shattered all over the floor. And it like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is some. What's this? A mini captain's hat? There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in this display case, and they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream, "Buy me!" to any passerby. Stuffed toys, just like the ones Miss Neely is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so hazardously. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you are one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Stuffed animal abuse. Okay. So I do a lot of searching before I do the logic for reasons. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale. We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Okay. I hope I got enough. So. Two of these should be able to fit together. Because it looks like only two can fit together right now. Glasses and suitcase actually can't. So if you take a look at the suitcase, planes shaking cause it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. However, the glasses does not mention anything about the turbulence. So, we found this hat. It's a tiny captain's hat. I swear I've seen one of these before. So, with it being small, whose head does it go on? The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get it? Mr. Fly piggy bank data updated in my organizer. Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where this in the shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So, come on. How should I know anything? I sense the further inspection of this display case is needed. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Well, isn't it quite obvious where what was here? Well, this is technically a bank.
Eureka!
This is definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get the Mr. E-Fly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Ooh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. So in other words, what happened? Think about the turbulence, okay? Think about the turbulence. If the plane hit a bump in the turbulence, the plane is going to end up shaking. What's that going to do with the bank? Because the bank is heavy. Yes, the bank is going to end up, by force, break through the glass and land on the floor. That's why all the glass is on the floor and not inside the display case. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. No, there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at the time too. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Mr. E-Fly from here after the turbulence. Mr. E-Fly piggy bank data updated in my organizer. Take your power nap on your own time, Miss Millie, and listen when I'm talking. What? But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility. But then, what if when the killer went to take Mr. E-Fly, they broke the glass by accident? The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Rhoda Tenero. Okay, so we have one more thing that we can actually put together. So now that we got this new one, which two go together. Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. What's with the setting yelling? Tell me, Miss Mealy. Don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases? Well, sure, they totally ooze strange. Like the color and the stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention. You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Mealy. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she'd heard what you just said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I spotted something that's not quite right. What is so unusual about these suitcases? Okay. So, this should be fairly easy to figure out. Yeah, I figured you thought the design was odd too. I never said the design was odd. Yeah. Please don't give me that attitude. I can't let her get me all riled up. Time to calmly look. Take another look, hard look. But I clicked the tire. There's something very peculiar about these wheels. As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have set it flying. And so, it is very likely that this suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. Piece of cloth. Brazilian cloth. And it's soaked with blood. Ah! It's blood! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. So explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty safe to say that the killer used this suitcase in some manner, such as to move something perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth then? That alone is too small. A large item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe that the killer used the suitcase to transport is... What do you think it is, Di? Nope, we're thinking bigger. We have to go bigger than the bank.
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? E-fly suitcase data jotted down in my organizer. Both bloody cloth data jotted down in my organizer. But, in light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else. Well, the suitcase is large, okay? So the body would have to be in a like a little fetal position to be able to fit in that suitcase. So it's about the height of a small child, okay? So if any human being in a fetal position, they would be able to fit in that suitcase. Which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Soda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he appreciated if you would wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments, however. If I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge. And I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Neely reminded me about, Miss Pinero, I can't allow my investigation in here. The truth must come to light. Okay. I got an hour and a half left. We started this at 8 o'clock. We went already 2.5 hours. And if I were to end it, oh no, wait, not an hour and a half. I have 2.5 hours. So I can do 2 parts. All right. So, questions, concerns, criticisms? Nothing. Are you sure you have nothing? Who do you think did it? Not sure. All right. Well, let's move on. Probably would help if I flipped this over. March 12th, 1 o'clock p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss De Niro and Miss Mealy, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss De Niro in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Di, you can probably guess who this is by the music. Who is it? Did you forget her name? Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go wherever I am needed, and wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. Now, if you've noticed, in the Ace Attorney trilogy, they called her Von Karma. Here, they're going to call her Franziska. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prostitute. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a despicable disciple of the House of the Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Well, this would be the second time he'd been convicted, wouldn't he? Or accused? Wait! It has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Is that how it went? I don't recall it ever going that way. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put you and a reference on hold until then. That's as it should be. Ha, I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties to you, of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of the creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed, which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime ain't away. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I have no intention to. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Too slow. Ow! Listen up, I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understood? Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Yes, sir, understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. There is somebody that we recognize in this. Do you know who it is? He's all the way in the back. He's all the way here in this corner over here. Looking out the window eating something. Do you remember who that is? We'll go talk to him. Let's go talk to him now. Shall we? we can talk to this guy. The child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of many flames. Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway. Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. So, we didn't talk to him, so... maybe I can talk to him this way? There we go. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Oh, nom 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 nom. In Soviet Russia, world flag lunchboxes, eat Jew. Die! That's your emoji! You got the eyes wrong. It's not the same. They don't have it. You can't do the caret underscore other caret and semicolon. Does it actually transfer to that? That looks like it, don't it? Found it! LOL! Oh! I feel a wave of creative powers coming on! It's over 9,000! LOLs! I don't know anybody who types creative powers like that, do you? Boomer humor. For my next Elite movie, it's going to be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Odi Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock so many box swords. I don't know what that means. Sal, can you like speak English? I don't know what that means. You know what that means? So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Salmonella is going to be Salmonella, isn't he? Alright, now let's take a look at it. Let's talk to the big So, how is the initial investigation going, Big O? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francisco. So he was always good at quick responses to a case. Yeah, he was, huh? A little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, I broke into a break dance. Miss Montgomery was already here, barking out orders at everyone while I was breakdancing my head off. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. This is sort of odd. She had showed up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Montgomery just kind of popped out at the prosecution office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective, who is your breakdancing. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it's high time to assume my investigation. Starting with talking to the police involved in this case as fresh. Yes, sir? Okay, nothing. March 21st, 1:37 p.m. Flight I-390, second floor, first class. So, you must be the captain. Why, yes I am. And who might you be? I'm the private prosecutor, Francisco Von Karma. I have a few questions for you. No you dare, Captain! Getting friendly with another woman? I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't spend money on our dear captain to be such a reputable person. So you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he will know anything yet. Anyway, I like to leave the type of witness to Francisca and her whip. Ah! March 12th, 1:40 p.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Now see here! Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal. I am not Wario, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stopping me from going. Time is money and I'm not Wario. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Do you see a mustache on my face? Yes, sir? Anything of interest, Detective? Well, I can see that I don't quite know everything about the situation. So I was just telling myself that I should go ask someone about the stuff I don't know. I mean, just because I don't know it doesn't mean something else might not know it. Someone else might not know it, right? It must be my imagination, but for a second, I think I actually understood his logic. So I kind of missed out a little, I missed a little Easter egg they had in part 1 where I could actually investigate the windows, and it would talk about the clouds. That's kind of a bummer that I missed that one, because that was the funny part of the game. So if you guys are ever playing the remake, go to one of the windows when you're investigating the crime scene with Rhoda, and interact with the window. Because there is a bit of funny dialogue with it. "72 degrees here. We have that hurricane coming." Hurricane's right above Texas right now. Hey, detective. What about it, detective? Did you notice anything? I saw this guy in a dream last night. The resemblance is uncanny, sir. Yeah, it's pretty warm. If you look at the weather data that they have up on the internet, you'll find out that the hurricane's sitting right there at Texas, and it's supposed to go east. Somewhere around between 2 in the afternoon and Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning. It's supposed to be in your area, somewhere around that area. By Thursday and Friday, it's supposed to be in my area. If it survives that long, because it's got no water that's going to keep it survive. And the more and more it runs across land, the less water molecule it's going to get to keep it strong. You saw him in your dreams. Well, yeah, I saw him, and then I arrested him. I wanted to show you just how vital I am in our friendship. Being useful in your sleep is of no help to me in the real world, detective. Did you finish taking his statements yet? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all sorts of art. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It kind of looks like the other piece of cloth. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Bohemian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from over the seas. Bloody cloth added data updated in my organizer. Okay. then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No, my cargo this time is much many gigantic. You detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You will get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police is no good. It is no good that attendants refuses to exit the attendance room too. The attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Canelo. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. And make no sign of coming out either. I finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Mr. Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendant. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room? Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Franziska's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in this very lounge. The body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for attendance until his body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Franziska? Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of 12 when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a some instant noodles. Ow! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. So tell me, Franziska, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? And all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more? Are you saying there is more I need to know? Yeah! Why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It appears that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. What do you mean by seeing? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then from the time after that call until the body was found, well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. The fact alone does not make me a criminal.
Objection!
Ha! We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the only likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karmer's got to believe that too, right? I mean, you are like siblings. Ow! Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we are related by blood, there's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Francisco, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. Likely suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. Take care of the gaps in her logic, one hole at a time. What's the statement? Okay. Which piece of evidence?
Objection!
Good die. That is very good. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used a suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not the lounge at all.
Objection!
Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusion? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be the killer simply chose the suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. The Von Karmer is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. We know there's proof of that, isn't there, Di? Where is the proof that this suitcase was moved around? Where? Where's our evidence?
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like you to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proves that the killer dragged the suitcase through here? And where is that? I'm going to move it over here to the track.
Take that!
This mark here. When you say that this looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels, I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase contains the victim's body. Definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. Already there's a contradiction in that statement. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge, where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit the path of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hesitantly put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, which is impossible, and pretend to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for someone you thought of on the fly. Just, what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of the display case? As I recall, the case was locked. Indeed, the case was locked. You simply had to hit the glass like this. Yow! You've shattered my heart of glass! So, she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Mr. Ifly bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. I thought you'd say that. But did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the body splattered in the lounge. by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. Are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now? We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you propose I did after that? So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then where was I headed, Francisca? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to the first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator. But unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plan because you've experienced turbulence on a flight before? Of course, anytime. Yeah, you stood after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, only for a second. Good thing it was only for a second, sir. It'd be bad if you had really blacked out. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blacking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth. Whoops. If I really were a criminal, do you think I would be so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now. Ow! I'll have to find a contradiction fast or I won't have much of my own hide left to say. I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge. I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then, you're yielding to my statement? Foolish. I still insist that you are the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, he seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. The logic is reasonably sound, and the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right. You know the statement? I think I might have gave you a hint earlier. of evidence. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Mr. Ifly piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the back of the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated the weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did three things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage in my pocket, to be precise. Everything was done so I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Acme Hicks. You there! Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in the lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. The remaining items have all tested negative for any traces of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that this is just hidden somewhere, sir. Eat! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. But the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase. It signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence, which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the passenger's personage or it's still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence, which doesn't make sense because she has to look at the glass. By opening the lock on the display case door, and it was at the time that the glass pane in the door was broken. Which means, if she's going that logic, Edgeworth cannot be the suspect. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of questioning. What do you say? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Francisco, the person you're talking about. Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another thing. You tricked the captain. And granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well. Permission granted. Only if I can sit on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss Pinero is in the flight attendant room. Let's move. March 12th, 2:23 p.m. Flight I-390, first room, flight attendant's room. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Mr. Nero? Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. Yes, sir. What are you doing and why are you fidgeting? I haven't been on a plane before and I've never been in an attendance room. Well, even on a normal flight, one would rarely ever need to enter one. I don't know when I'd ever get to be on a plane again, so I want to soak it all in now, sir. Let's see, box full of crowns and a yellow suitcase, and oh, what a great trip. Paging Detective Gumshoe, finally return to your situation at hand. Way to show who's boss, Mr. Edgeworth. Not even Miss Von Karma's whip is a match for you. You give me too much credit. You simply didn't have all the information. To be sure, the fights will become tougher and tougher as this investigation progresses. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. You've got me watching your back. I'll make sure to keep on supporting you any way I can. You just say the word, sir. Really? And how about standing out in front absorbing whiplashes from me? Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? Captain, he only has ears for candy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seemed to be rather taken with Miss Mealy. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted him to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Pinero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, why the sudden hesitation? Because this it seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check up on the shop that I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After you visit the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came to freshen up and adjust my makeup. Sorry, but there isn't much else to tell it. Mr. Nero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. Is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that. Okay. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about the suitcase, you are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. The suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find, but it potentially is there. Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcase I had designed was selling. I know that for a service professional, I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one there. The last one there? So you're saying, Miss Tenero, the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes. They're just so popular. They're practically flying off the shelves. Not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. What? Maybe that was a little too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't design. It's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like your story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? So she's attending the shop, and she's only seen 1. She would have to be the cashier too. You would think she would see all of them go out the door. And if she's only seen 1 and has no idea what happened to the other one, something's amiss. Because she should know where every product is. Because if she's supposed to keep an eye on that shop, she's also the cashier as well. So she would have to know what happened to the other suitcase. By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of these suitcases doing here? I thought you said there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. He uses it for a long time? I think not. Miss Tenero, I appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tenero says? You should already see this. Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag for seen on your occasion? Ah! What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales number made her cry, shed her tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. De Niro, I think I understand. I know what you were trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in... This one should be very easy. Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And that person who bought this suitcase was... Well, this one should be easy.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Miss De Niro? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry! All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. But the suitcase didn't sell. Because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I feel so bad seeing them there day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I work. You buy one every single time you work on a flight? I see, so in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well? Yes, and here is my receipt for the purchase. This receipt is clearly stamped 5:40 a.m. Suitcase receipt jotted down in my organizer. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss De Niro? Where are the other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim body. Ah! How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be. Miss De Niro, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is to just do the door there. What about security? The door has no special lock installed because just enter this room. You need a special key card that only crew members have access to. That means the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Francisco? Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. What do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. The fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. The other attendant, Miss Mealy, I asked her earlier and she had this to say. This is the information of Mr. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different card key is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! What? Is this true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep the key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us the card right now? Yes, hold on. Ah! I don't believe it! What's wrong? The key card, it's gone! Hahaha, very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that! You can tell us all about that down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth! What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However, hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Okay, that was a little bit shorter than I expected, but however, I am going to call it a stream today. So yes, this is going to be the end of tonight's stream because I know the other part is going to take about an hour long. So, and I want to end this at midnight so I can get you and Phoenix to finish up with those newspapers and emails for the last week of the football. So, you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? Criticisms? Oh yeah, you did finish the paper. It's going to be Phoenix who's going to be doing the emails. He's streaming right now, so the first thing that we'll probably have to do is probably do the magazine cover for the Wacky World Football League. So that's what we can work on. All right. Okay, I'm going to save that. Okay. You have any questions, you have any concerns, you have any criticisms over that part of the case? They probably didn't add anything new, but do you have an idea of who might be the killer? You feel like Neely did it, huh? We'll figure that out next Monday. That went a little quicker than I expected it would have been. But next week we'll finish off episode 2, and then we're going to jump right into episode 3. So, and you're doing a lot better job with this one than you were doing with the trilogy. Have you noticed? And I don't think it's the fact that it's easier. I think you're probably understanding it more, or it's more visually more presented for you, so you can picture it more, unlike the other 3 games. Your opinions are quite small. I still think you'll enjoy the game. You do like the characters, you do like the story, so that's one thing I think why you'll enjoy the game more. We get past investigation and do the Apollo Justice trilogy. That's going to be a little bit more involved, especially when we move over to the DS, the 3DS. The 3DS. Typically, they're tend to think of, well, just like the trilogy, you get 8 on a page. I know this one, you have to open them up because you can't tell what they are. The other ones, you just have to highlight the image and then leave the information on top, which is how the remake's going to be for the investigation as well. Which saves you time from having to open them up. The Game Boy Advance version of it is just like the DS port, except there's only one screen. You do have to click on the evidence, and you have to open them up. Okay? Unless they're already pre-opened up. I have to remember if they were or weren't. They might already be opened on the Game Boy Advance. And you have to scroll through them. True. Like I said, I don't really consider the investigation games to be side quests or not part of the main series because they fall on that timeline right after Trials and Tribulations. Both this one and the next one falls in the same year, so it's directly after Trials and Tribulations, and you'll understand why I don't consider it like a spin-off or anything like that, because it focuses on the main story. So it does not focus on Phoenix Wright. When Apollo Justice came out, I thought it was a spin-off because it wasn't connected to the main storyline. Well, in some way they connected it to the main storyline. You'll figure out how they did that. But the Great Ace Attorney, we know that's 100% spin-off because it does not relate to the main story at all. But anyways, find ourselves a raid target. I can't do a redirect at the moment. However, I think it's only fair if I do raid him anyway. Okay? So Di, guess what you're gonna be telling when you go into their channel? Tell them to turn redirects on. Gameplay boy, nice to see you. You're a little bit late right now. We are. Do you remember how to do redirects? How to turn them on? Yes. Do you remember how to get redirects turned on? You're going to tell him that he has to go to YouTube Studios. And he has to go to his settings and go to the community tab. Probably because you don't have the right numbers to actually redirect someone. I do. So he has to go to YouTube Studios, settings, community tab, and it should be towards the bottom. And he has to allow anyone to redirect him. Okay, you can remember those steps? It's very simple, and you should be able to follow the steps. So, he has to go into YouTube Studios, and it's easy to go to manage videos on the channel page, and then click on settings in the YouTube Studios, and then a box will pop up and it'll show tabs on the left side of the box. He wants to click on community, and then he has to scroll down towards the bottom and allow anyone to redirect to him. He can't redirect to anybody else, but people can redirect to him. That should be available. To you, it should be available too. Alright. Those of you that are lurking, if you would like the links in the chat, you can click that link, the one that I posted, and you can go to this stream if you'd like. Anybody else who's in YouTube chat, Twitch chat, Kick chat, if you want to come and join YouTube, click that link and watch the next streamer, be my guest, send them a like, subscribe to their channel. They are very new. So, with that, you guys all have a good night.